Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Thursday Throwdown here. We've got your analysis, the recap here for week number 1, the scores, the highlights, the predictions for week number 2, the news, gossip, what's going around in the league, right here on the Throwdown Show. And as always, I'm here with my co-host, my partner, Giant918.
www.acfl.net. Follow us on Twitter at ACFL Football, and make sure to follow us on Instagram at ACFL_Atlantic Coast Football. You might need to write that down, so I tried to say that as slow as humanly possible, but we got a lot of things to go through tonight. Week 1 highlights as well as predictions for the second week over here. Lots of things happening. We're going to start off in the ACFL South. We're still working on the website as well. Jim Flanagan is doing a wonderful job. I got a preview of the new website. It is vastly superior to the garbage that is currently on there on ACFL.net. So we appreciate all of y'all hanging in there as well. And as we sit here recovering from the nor'easter that was supposed to hit us Tuesday night and the Wednesday. These assholes, they spread so much tornado and diarrhea in the news, they can't even get the damn weather right, Flanny.
Oh, man.
So let's hope the weather holds off for this weekend's games, the series we got this weekend coming up.
But I'll tell you who was right in their predictions, Giants. That's the Instagram feed. He went undefeated, 5-0 on his predictions, 9-2 record for week number 1. You combine the prior week before, so he was perfect. Maybe we need him to predict the weather.
All right, and so let's move on into the ACFL South. We'll go over a recap. We got 2 of the games recorded as well on this. And so incorrectly, I was totally off on this wrong. I was totally wrong on this prediction last week, and Ozone absolutely annihilating. 10-yard fight, final score is 39-13, and it should be as no surprise to many of you. The veteran flag team, they absolutely dominate, and 10-yard fight appears to be new to the flag scene. And it definitely showed in this game, Flanny. Do they even have a shot the rest of the season, or is it just too early to tell? Do they have a chance to make the adjustments during the season?
Man, I mean, what a lopsided game here. Ozone coming in with fire, Giant. Opening day, inaugural Flag South Division, man. And boy, did they make a statement here. And Giant, after the game, man, I talked to one Dave Alborn of the Ozone. He was very disappointed in you, Giant. I talked to him. I got a post interview with Dave, and I asked Dave what he thought about your prediction here for week number 1. And what he told me, well, he is a Jets fan, so what do you expect? And I got to agree with him on that.
Shout out to Dave Alborn as well. We go way back, over almost 2 decades back. So I hope he's doing well, and congrats on the win, and hopefully I'll make better predictions. I mean, every week from now on, I'm going to be this is absolutely the team to beat. Because 10-yard fight, they are not some slouch team. At least I don't think so.
No, I mean, they're a veteran team.
Yeah.
But hey, man, one guy, Giant, Ozone, man, and that guy is Lloyd Porter. And boy, did this guy make a statement in this game, man. You could check his player card out there at the Instagram. The only thing I don't agree, I think that 85 speed might need to be adjusted, because this guy was just phenomenal all game long. You're talking about a defenseman on the defensive line. He must have had maybe 5, 6, maybe even 7 sacks in this game. Kevin saw Lloyd Porter in his face all game long. Not only that, Giant, the man gets a kick return touchdown. You could check the highlight on it. It's got over 500 views. And on top of that, then he had a pick 6, a lateral that came his way. And now this is defenseman, Giant. He gets the pitch. He intercepts it, takes it to the house. The only thing he didn't do is maybe throw a touchdown. But I bet if they put him at quarterback, Giant, he'd probably do that as well. So Lloyd Porter, no question here, man. The player of the week in the South 6-on-6 flag division. And Dave's got to be happy he's got this guy on his team.
No question about it. This guy doesn't even look like he feeds his mouth. He is so jacked.
You saw the biceps on the guy, man?
Dude, he just feeds his arms. He don't feed his mouth, yo. He feeds his arms. And you said it about the speed. How is this guy not a 93 or a 94 overall? Absolute MVP of the week in the ACFL South, and a very dangerous weapon that they have on their team. Hopefully injuries do happen during the season, sadly. So hopefully Lloyd can stay healthy over there for Ozone.
And they got a lot of weapons, Giant. Not only him, a lot of weapons on that team. Sonny had a tremendous game. AJ over there had tremendous catches. And I mentioned the kick return touchdown. If you watch that highlight, now a lot of times on the kick return touchdown, what happens is the receiver will take the ball, and usually he'll wait for that key block in front of him. He'll get that key block, and then he'll bust out. Well, if you check out Lloyd Porter, he doesn't wait for the blocking, Giant. He goes straight up in the face of XYF, has no intentions of pitching this ball at all, and then he makes the tremendous spin move. They call it the spin-a-rooming, Giant, because he went through both defenders, juked the other two. Just a tremendous play, man. Tremendous highlight. And it has to be the highlight of the week as well.
Oh man. So make sure you guys check out the replays as well. Click on to subscribe if you end up checking it out on the YouTube video as well. We would greatly appreciate that. Let's move on to the next game. Field Mob, they squeak in a win against the Six. The final is 18-13. Low-scoring defensive game here. Both of the teams were without their starting quarterback, but the Six backup quarterback, the backup has the quarterback, the team. The Six was also missing the center. They went down 18-0 in this game, then came back within 5. They ended up having 2 drives at the end of the game to take the lead, but Field Mob defense held them out of the end zone to secure the win. Not pretty, but a W is a W. Flanny, how concerned do these teams have to be without their starting quarterback? And what does this bode for the future? It doesn't sound good so far.
Yeah.
Are you aware if this is long-term, or you have no idea at all?
Well, I mean, from my sources, what I get, I did speak with the Six team. But the Six team, Nelson has quarterbacked this team, like you mentioned. I mean, he's done it, so when they need him, he steps in. But I know they much rather have him at the wide receiver spot.
Oh, no question. That's what Nelson does, yeah.
And it's Maggs, man. Chris Maggs, the quarterback there. And I believe his kids had like soccer or something, and he's gonna try and make all the games that he could, But his kids play in some sports and stuff. So that Sunday, unfortunately, he could not make it, and unfortunately for the Six, because if he was there, I think the outcome would have been different here. But not taking anything off from Field Mob here. Hey, it wasn't pretty. They did get the win. I think a lot of guys were surprised here. They thought it was going to be a much bigger win here for Field Mob, especially with all this talk prior to this season. But hey, Field Mob not only, it's not a team that always just puts up a lot of points each week, Their defense is still solid, They still got my man Courtney back there who shut it down, man, when they needed it, late in this game, So, we look at this game, you mentioned 18-0, The Six usually a second half team, and they did. They regrouped, they came back, they bounced back, Couple questionable calls on there in this game, But even so, even with that, hey, the Six, bottom line, Six had the ball in the red zone, 2 possessions late in this game, and they could not punch it in. And that's what it comes down to. So you can't put it in. A couple guys dropped the ball in the end zone. So they were close, Giant, close. But close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And unfortunately, that's not what we were playing this Sunday. So
No, we weren't. So let's move on to the final game. And sadly, we didn't get this one on video.
and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. And a lot of
Yeah.
people are like, "Hey, why don't you stick around for the third?" You know, it's the third game. You know, it did start raining too at this point. You know,
Yeah.
it's very
Man,
difficult.
that was
I
shitty.
used to do 3 games, but that's when I was trying. When I was like 8 minutes away from the Hackensack field. You know, you gotta understand an hour drive there, hour drive back, and on top of that, what, like 4 or 5 hours
Yeah.
recording. So, you know. And nobody brought me no cheeseburger, no Whopper on there. If they did, maybe I would have reconsidered it there, you know. But here's the thing: when it came to game time, TJ and the Rebels weren't even there. I mean, he was scrambling to get guys on here. Looks like he did, or these guys showed up like the last minute, you know. So I was like, I didn't want to stick around for that. So yeah, I did leave. But unfortunately, this happened to be the best game on the card there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and in the shootout, and with 10 seconds left in the game, the Rebels squeak it out with a 48-44 final. So, congrats on the Rebels over here. So taking a look at the standings, Field Mob with 1 win, Ozone with 1 win, Rebels with 1 win. The Jokers they had off week 1, and then the 10-yard fight and the Wolverines with a loss.
Yeah. I mean, that game could have went either way, man. Either way, I mean, the Wolverines were 10 seconds away of winning it. And, hey, these guys came. They looked like they were ready. You know, when I was down there to complain, they did. You know, and I told you this Rebels team is a team to force, with this season, you know. Don't sleep on these guys here. You know, even if they only show up with like 6 guys. Listen, these guys ain't no new to the flag scene, and you know, and they got the win, man. They came out big. I mean, 48 points, man, is a lot, you know. So I mean,
no
for
question,
TJ put up that many points, you know, luckily they got the win, man. Because I don't know where the defense was, but it looked like it was a shootout. So
all right, so let's move along to the ACFL North 6 versus 6 flag, and we just got done discussing a shootout. How about this shootout over here, though, fellas? The game on the line in the closing moments, the Bruins making a ballsy decision to go for the 2-point conversion and defeat the Goonies 35-34 final in this week's Game of the Week. And this was something that was expected. Unfortunately, there was no film crew for this, Flanny. So a suggestion that was made to me. Someone told me earlier in the week, they suggested that the refs potentially, they could wear something, their cameras that they could wear either on glasses or something that they could wear on the actual rim of their hat to do that. But I don't know if they'd be willing to do that, Flanny, you know, but that's what I've heard. The video's so good these days, you know, you can get something really tiny and really it doesn't weigh a lot. And because of that, it you know, it's possible to record these games if you can, you know. So the other guys that used to film for the North, they just got up and disappeared like a fart in the wind last season. Sad but true.
well, it is possible what you mentioned on there. I mean, yeah, I can't be 2 locations at the same time. You know what I mean? But this game deserved to be on film. I mean, we knew it was going to be a great matchup. We knew this is going to be the game of the week. Now, initially, I was going to film this game, but they told me they had a guy that was going to film in Bayonne, so I was like, okay, you know what I mean? I'll get the South, and then it's a no-show, no-call.
Yeah, but I don't care. I know
least,
there's spectators there. This is what drives me crazy. I know there's spectators there. Don't tell me you don't have a Samsung 8 or better, or you don't have an iPhone 6 or better.
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe. You know who has phones like an iPhone 4 or iPhone 5? People that are 70 or older. Those are people who maybe they still have flip phones. You know, so.
Well, what I'm pissed about is if you weren't gonna film, man, at least let me know. At least let me know, so this way I'll go down to Bayonne and get this game, man, because we knew it was going to be a great match. Unfortunately, we're going to get it on film. Bruins, Goonies, always a showdown.
Yeah.
And this did not disappoint. Ballsy choice there by AJ going for the 2 and the win. and it worked out. So becomes a hero, getting the 35-34 win. Disappointing loss there for the Goonies. I know they wanted to start out, get the win. Mike Vick there had a tremendous game, but hey, couldn't get the win and couldn't get the film, was even more disappointing. So.
All right, guys. So this is what we heard last week. In the second game, we heard the hope that Wild Breed had a quarterback, and it wasn't the hope of the quarterback. All it was a bunch of hype, and the All-Stars continue to roll, and they just shellacked Wild Breed 27-6, the final. Not much more you could say about that, Flanny. Very imbalanced win at the end over there. And congrats to the All-Stars who continue to open a can of whoop-ass against their opponents, Flanny.
Absolutely, man. Defending champs, and it's consistency, Giant. These guys been champs season after season, whether it's the fall, whether it's the spring on here, the regular season, it's the same thing. So, these guys are not just the ones that show up for the playoffs or show up for the big games. They're there every week, week in, week out. And 27-6, to me, yeah, definitely, a win there for the All-Stars, sending a statement there. And they definitely got to be the team to beat, man. I didn't check I know the rankings was put on that. And were they 1 or 2 on there? I think he got him one. It's either them or the Cobras. They got to be one of those two teams, man. Because those two had the biggest weeks there for week 1.
Yeah, the point differentials. Yeah,
I think that was the only 2 games, right? Only 2 games.
Yeah. So let's go over the other game quick. Let's go over the other. That is for 6 versus 6 flag. We got one more game, 8 versus 8 flag. And this is the All-Stars, and they got the bye because of the 9 teams for the 8 versus 8. So the Warriors, who are also the winter champs, and they sent an absolute statement over here with a 38-6 win over the newcomers, the Monstars. And guys, I mean, you've seen on Instagram, there's a lot of shit talking by the Monstars, and all they let out is a bunch of gas. So maybe you guys should stop flying your private planes all over the place, and maybe you guys should get back onto the practice field so you could actually make some of these games competitive, because this is absolutely disgraceful, Flanny. How do you get over something like that?
Hey, Monstars debut here, Giant, not a good one. Warriors,
it's not.
The veterans showed them, what the ACFL is all about here, and 38-6, man. Warriors looking good, man. Looking good, looking great. And I like it, man, because they're in a big matchup this week, So, great job for them, man. Continue, like I said, the winter, even though it was 6-on-6 flag, here the 8-on-8 Warriors team looks pretty damn good, man.
All right, so let's move on to this week's games predictions. And we're going to start off, since we started off with the ACFL South, we're going to start off with the ACFL South predictions. And this is fantastic. This should be the game of the week. Jokers, the spring 2018 champs versus the red hot Ozone, 1-0. And we told you about the stats earlier. Put on a spanking against 10-yard fight, putting up 39 points against them. So this is definitely the game of the week, and the Jokers are absolutely studly from what I remember. If they got the same crew, they are a very dangerous team. They can't be as dangerous as Ozone, man. So, like I said earlier as well, Ozone is absolutely the team to beat, and we'll see what happens over here, Flame, but I am absolutely taking the Ozone.
Wow.
I'm not going to be wrong again on this team. Who do you have, Flanny?
Oh, man. Maybe that prep talk there got trying to take the Ozone, man. But, wow. Okay. Taking the Ozone, Maybe it's bad karma for Dave when you take them. You got the Jets fan on your side, Dave. Unfortunately, man, this week I got to go with the Jokers. I mean, hey, until proven otherwise, these guys won the spring. Hands on, man. And, that speed, even with Lloyd Porter out there for Ozone, I don't know, man. I mean, the Jokers, full squad there. If all those guys show up, they're going to put up a lot of points. So Ozone's got to keep up, and I think they could. Then they could. Like you said, yeah, definitely potential game of the week here, but I got to stick with the Jokers crew until proven otherwise. Just as the All-Stars dominating in the North, hey, I think the Jokers are doing the same thing here in the South.
All right, we'll see what happens. Game number 2, the 10-yard fight, terrible opening season showing, and it doesn't get any easier as they're going to be playing the fall champs Field Mob, which is 1-2. They indeed played sloppy week 1, but they didn't have their starting quarterback. Look, I know this is a team of vets. I think 10-yard fight has a shot against the Field Mob. If Field Mob does not field their starting quarterback, that is the only chance I give them. If Field Mob is going to have their starting quarterback, sorry, 10-yard fight, I'm not going to give you a chance at all. So I don't know who to pick over here. I'm assuming that Field Mob is going to get their starting quarterback back, and I'm going to pick them as the winners over here, Flanny.
Whether he's there or not, Giant, I'm still taking Field Mob. Look, hey, they won without him week 1. And, now they're playing against the 10-yard fight team here who did not look good at all week 1. Glenn's got to get the crew ready, man. They got to improve things. I know they got a couple of new guys on that squad. I don't know if it hurt the chemistry-wise because of that, but those guys look talented. One guy I did not see on there, where the hell is Jay, man? They need to get Jay back on this team. This guy is tremendous for them, Everybody else was like a ghost week 1, Gil, where was he? I don't know,
Gil wasn't there either?
No, he was,
God,
but it seemed like he wasn't.
Yeah.
And then one thing I was disappointed with week 1 was with Al Jr., Now, I know they got a lot more guys now, so he wasn't really playing both sides, but I really like to see this guy on the offensive side as well, not only defensive, because he does bring a lot on that offensive side. We saw him do that in the prior seasons, and now that it's flag, I think he'd be even more of a threat, with those simple dump-offs there on there, because he could make the plays. He could make plays stand out. It seemed like Mario was the only guy that was doing anything week 1, so they got to improve that, man. Somebody got to get on the phone with Jay, get him out there. Otherwise, Field Mob rolls, man. They're going to roll here. I got to stick with them as well.
All right, so let's move along. For our predictions in the North, 6 versus 6 flag.
There's one more. Is it?
Oh, you're right, man. The 6 versus the Rebels, 1-0. And the question is Mags back this week for the 6? Will TJ have a squad ready by game time? And both teams are battling last week, and Rebels found a way to win, and 6 did not. We could expect a close one here again, but I'm going to pick the winners. It's too early in the season to say anything, so I'm going to pick the team who won their week 1, and that over here is the Rebels, Flanny.
Yeah. I mean, look, 48 points is no joke, man.
Yeah.
And, it's an 11:45 game. They got to get their guys, so he's got the time advantage there, close to 12 o'clock. There's no reason of the guys not showing up for this. And, I don't know if Max is back. Hopefully he is. If he is, this is going to be a battle here. It's definitely going to be a battle if he's there, man. So, but I got to take the Rebels. From what I heard, they look pretty damn good, and that win, man, with those seconds remaining, that boosts confidence in your team, man. That's what they did, and I think they take the momentum here into week 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, guys, sorry about that. We're going to move on to North 6 versus 6 flag, and the All-Stars continue their dominance. They continue their dominance in 6 versus 6 flag, and they go up against the newcomers, Devenio, who is 1-0 with an impressive week 1 showing, but they are still newcomers. That's the bottom line. And the All-Stars, I mean, they are just an outstanding team. So I am not giving much hope for Devenio, them being the newcomers still to the league, and I am picking the All-Stars to roll all over Devenio, Flanny.
Yeah, I mean, what why go against the All Stars? No, way too early here.
Yeah.
And I like the Vigno team, like I said, but I think they'll get a lot better as the season goes by. They do got the veteran Rich in there, so I mean he does bring that. But the All Stars is just stacked. I mean this team's stacked every position, so I mean you got to play them like a perfect game to try to beat them. And I think they just win the chess match here. You know the veterans come in there, and you know I don't think the Vigno's going to be ready.
All right, and now we got. There's a lot of games this week for 6 vs. 6. We got the Goonies 0-1, tough week 1 loss by them with the conversion at the end of the game versus the Pace Trucking Dirt Demons. I still don't know who these Pace Trucking Dirt Demons are.
Formerly, a lot of the guys on there are formerly from the A team, so you know. Combined with a couple of guys.
Well, they're still not good. So yeah, I don't think Goonies is going to have an issue over here with the W, Flanny.
Yeah, they should bounce back here with a win. Mike Vick gets the crew going. Like I said, I mean, it was a toss-up between the Bruins game. But here, I think they bounce back. The Dirt Demons, man, I mean, week 1 against the Vigno was not pretty, but... they got another tough matchup here, back to back now. So, and the Goonies got to bounce back from that week 1 loss.
All right, next game up, and this one should be the game of the week, fellas, for the 6 vs. 6. It's the Cobras 1-0 versus the Bears 1-0, and like I said, this should be a good one. Hopefully, they can get a camera over there as well for this matchup. But this one's going to be a tight one, and the Cobras, they look really good to me, dude. I'm gonna have to pick the Cobras in this one. I'm sorry, man. They're gonna fight out a squeaker, and they're gonna win by 1, I would think, 1 or 2 points.
Yeah, they looked unstoppable week 1 against the Savages. But Bears had an impressive week 1 as well. This should be a definitely like. Yeah, I agree with you, man. Game of the week potential here in the 6-on-6 flag. But man, I mean, when I saw week 1, what the Cobras can do with both sides of the ball, Adam back there for the Cobras, this team looks red hot. I wouldn't want to play the Cobras, man. No way.
Yeah. I agree.
Bears might go into hibernation here this week.
Yeah, they might for this week. All right, so let's move along to the next matchup. So it's going to be the Bruins, who are 1-0, versus the Bankers 0-1. Not much to say here, but could be a potentially low energy game as well. And I don't hold much hope for the Bankers. It doesn't look like they. Until I see that they've hired my managers to take care of all that capital they have for the rest of the season, I'm not going to hold much hope for the Bankers. So I'm going to pick the Bruins to take this one, Flanny, comfortably.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. A team that could score the points, I'm going to take them as well. Bruins put up 35 against the Goonies, while the Bankers struggled to put points on the board. So I'm taking the offensive Bruins. AJ in the squad here, I think, puts up another good 30-plus game points here in this game as well.
Okay, and the final matchup of the 6 vs. 6 flags, we have a bag of dicks versus a bucket of hammers. So I don't know who's going to win this. Savages versus 0-1 Savages versus the 0-1 Wild Breeds. Someone's going to get a win this game, and I mean, I some of them had a hope, but all it was hype. But I will take the Savages in this one by a squeaker. Maybe they'll win by a point or something. Flanny?
Yeah. I mean, Savages got the talent there. They got the crew there, man. But like I said, they played that Red Hot Cobra, so I can't just judge them off that. But, Wild Breed came in with a lot of hype, like you mentioned. And, they played both these teams played the top 2 teams in 6-on-6 flag, So, yeah. But someone's gonna come out with the win here. I'm I don't know. I mean, I didn't see the Wild Breed. Unfortunately, I wasn't in Bayonne this week. I did see what the Savages could do, and I'll take the Savages. I'll take the Savages. They got some good top receivers there. They got some speed on there. I mean, they scored against the Cobras. I think they'll score against the Breed here.
All right, guys, in the prestigious 8 versus 8 flag, that's our predictions next. We've got the Canes versus the Warriors. This should absolutely be the game of the week. Excuse me. And this better be on film. Woo, 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 woo. Hey, everybody, this should be on film. So whoever's over there, if nobody brought a camera, tell somebody who's on the sidelines over there to get the game as best as they could, because this game should be on film. So the Warriors, they were very impressive week number 1. Do you need to say anything about the Canes? This game is going to be an absolute battle over here, but I think the Warriors are going to take this one by itself, Flanny.
Wow. Giant going with the upset and the Warriors. Wow, that's a good pick, but I can't go against the Canes. No way. No way. Listen, 4 champs here, and they're looking to do exact same thing. They're not only looking to win games here, they're looking to win another championship, and that's what champs do. Canes come in here. Big matchup start off here, week number 2. And this one should be on film, man. Even with the Cobras game, because this is a 9 o'clock game, that's a 10:30, so you could get both of these games in Bayonne, no problem. With the way the schedule's set up, it's perfect, right, actually. But hey, man, Canes, no way. Sorry, man. I mean, as good as the Warriors are and look on paper here, Earl and the Canes, man, continue to roll, go 2-0.
All right, so the next matchup we got are the All-Stars season opener, because they had the bye week 1, and they're going up against the winless Apex Predators, who also with the 0 points of offense. I mean, is this a joke or what? It might be. Maybe the Apex Predators could talk to some real life predators like President Bill Clinton or Joe Biden. He's been in the news lately, so sniffing women's hair and stuff like that, making them feel all comfortable and stuff. So maybe the Apex Predators could get some advice from one of those 2 clowns. And we'll see. I mean, you just hope at this point that the Apex Predators can score some points, Flanny.
Yeah. I mean, not only are they 0-1, they played Smash week 1, but they didn't put a goddamn point on the board, not even a field goal here. And you're going to need that against the All-Star squad here. 8-on-8 flag. These guys come, like I said, always prepared, always ready to go. I don't know if Apex is, so we'll see. And All-Stars are well rested, you know what I mean? They haven't played yet, so they should be good to go here week 2. All-Stars here, no doubt.
All right, next matchup is going to be the USO versus 1-0 versus the Bulldogs. Kind of an interesting matchup over here. Not famous teams matching up over here. It can go either way, but because USO has the W, I'm going to keep up with that. It's too early in the season to tell. I think USO is going to take this one, Flanny. Who you got on this?
This should be a tremendous matchup. Tremendous. Both teams have that defensive style, and they're going to bring it here. Look for a low-scoring game here, which I think favors USO as well on here. But 10:30 game here. I think the Bulldogs get their linemen ready this time as opposed to week 1. They did pick up some good talent on that receiving end, so that should be able to put some points for the Bulldogs. You know what? I'm going to take the Bulldogs. I like this Bulldogs team, man. Even though USO had an impressive week 1, taking down the Bankers. I like the regroupment there by the Bulldogs, the new additions they have on that squad, and I think we're going to see them break that out here this game.
All right, and the last matchup we got of the week, fellas, are the Womp Womp Bankers 0-1 versus the Monstars 0-1. And, I mean, these teams they need to rebound after week 1. Monstars, they are a new team, but the information that I have received is that they have played in other leagues. So the Bankers here, they need to get the offense going badly. No success versus the USO, but they should have a better game here. So that, they're doing this trash talking and stuff. I'll give them that, and I'll give them this W this week. I'll predict the W against the Bankers this week, Flanny.
Yeah. I'm going the other way. I'm taking the Bankers here. Were the Warriors that damn good, or did the Monsters just not put up a game, man? And Bankers, disappointing week one, not being able to score as much as they hoped for against that USO team, but that's a very talented USO team. So, no, I like the Bankers here. Bankers, I'm taking the veterans.
All right, guys. I just want to plug again over there on Instagram. Check out the player cards, guys. Shout out to Adam Lofredo. He's among the first cards we got. Chad Falcon as well. Hope I'm saying your names right. If you guys can, you could correct me too. We discussed Lloyd before. We got Aaron Williams as well. Some of these guys look like they were all pros, at least in college. Some of these guys are the size of Texas. They look absolutely ridiculous, and all jacked up and stuff like that. Very athletic. So these teams, some of these teams are crazy. Chris Moyano, I believe that was the one that AJ insulted last week. Anderson Velez, lots of talent over here in the ACFL, Flanny.
Yeah. Now, people are loving the cards, man. The player cards with the ratings on there. Getting definitely some good feedback on that, on the Instagram feed there. And a lot more coming their way, we're usually, between 5 and 10 cards each week. We like to post them on there. So look for new ones each week as they go on here. By the end of the season, we should have a lot on there. So, but some agree, some disagree with the ratings on there, but it is what it is. I mean, prove the ratings wrong. You know what I mean? We're always gonna update these as well. Come playoff time, there'll be additional cards. Even if you got one now, we'll revisit that, and if you improved or you went the opposite way, those ratings will change as they go.
Yeah. All right, fellas. We hope you enjoyed tonight. Maybe continue to check us out. www.acfl.net. Follow us on Twitter at ACFL Football. Follow us on Instagram at ACFL_Atlantic Coast Football. Jim Flanagan, Giant 918, signing out. We'll see you next week, fellas. Have a good night.